Okay, we're live. Hello,
GM,
everyone.
G Brew, G
Oh,
Espresso,
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
wherever you are. Do you reckon we
yes.
have more people in the US? Like most of our audience?
I am
For
not
the
sure.
audience. I don't know.
Hmm.
It's changed.
Everyone tell us where you are. I'm curious.
Yeah, let us know in the chats. Okay, welcome everyone. It's been a while since you've seen our faces. Community call number 11. I feel like a lot of things have happened since the last time we went on a community call. So I guess we have some things to chat about. People are saying still waiting. I don't know what they're waiting on. So
Mhm. I think we're
we can still
live.
wait.
I think we're set up everywhere.
All right. Let's skip to let's do our what do you call it? Like groundwork, housework, the stuff
Housekeeping.
that you just cover,
Housekeeping.
groundwork.
Housekeeping. Yeah.
A little refresher because it's been a bit. So the Espresso community is a space for builders, researchers, contributors, and curious minds to collaborate on building a universal base layer for all chains to work together as one, which is a beautiful mission to have. And we're so happy and so excited that you are part of the Espresso community. Um, yeah, and thank you for just following us along the journey. So next, just a reminder, we are nice people. So I'm striving to be, we're all striving to be nice people. And so we have zero tolerance for harmful behavior. Now, what does that mean? We do not tolerate any threats, harassment, or any form of violence, hateful or discriminatory behavior based on race, gender, ethnicity, nationality, uh, religion, sexual orientation, disability, or any other personal attribute. Doxing, stalking, none of that here. And no bullying, no coercion or entitlement. Although a little jokes are fine. We like jokes. I have a particularly cruel humor sometimes, so it'll be tough to offend me, but you can try.
No, don't try. Don't say that.
What we do love seeing though is contributing with integrity. We love seeing people showing support. Oh, I see Crypto Cobra in the chat. Always a very supportive community member. Showing support, being curious about espresso and the tech, promoting rigor and thoughtful contribution. We don't shy away from having important conversations. Help uphold community norms. If you see toxic behavior, flag it, address it kindly. Always kill them with kindness. And treat everyone in the ecosystem and community with the utmost respect because we're all here to do good. And yeah. So, the Espresso Community Call, this is the agenda. Does that work in English?
Agenda.
The
Correct.
agenda? Okay. I forget how to speak English.
Mhm.
We'll be covering the Espresso Vision and the update since, which is the proof of stake upgrade. We'll be talking about a very exciting new demo that has only been shown yesterday, I believe, right? At the Digital Asset Summit in New York
Two,
City
2 days ago on
2
Tuesday.
days ago.
Mhm.
We'll be showing that, some partnership updates, upcoming events where you will see Espresso next, and a little ECC can preview. Yeah, exciting.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. Here comes
Yeah.
Whitney.
Yeah. So, many of you are probably aware we've gone over the Espresso Vision every time we've had a community call, but it's always good to kind of reiterate what we're all here for, what we're building towards. And so, really, at Espresso, we believe there's a better way to move value across platforms at the speed of information. It's crazy that in an age when I can DM someone halfway around the world in a matter of seconds across it's like with an email, for instance, across platforms, right? It doesn't matter what email client you use. I can just send the email and know that it's going to get to you in a matter of seconds. We can't do the same thing with money, with value. um, and I like the story that Jill tells, just happened last week, when she was out of the country and she was trying to pay her dog walker, and she was in another country and has, opened up her Venmo app and tried to, which is, for people who don't know, is like a payment app that is used in the United States a lot, to try to pay. And because the app wasn't supported in that country or whatnot, she wasn't able to use it to pay her dog walker at home, which she, used all the time to pay. And it's just, that sort of thing is what we are really trying to move past, because we have the technology. I mean, blockchain technology, permissionless platforms, enables this sort of, should be easy, but it's not. So the problem is, next slide. Should I be doing it? Should I be controlling it? Okay. Right. Information flows freely across the world, right? But our assets remain trapped in these inefficient communications. That's basically what the story illustrates, right? It's like, Venmo is, as helpful as it is a, a siloed financial system. Like, in that story, Jill could not pay, someone in another country using the same app just because of regulatory reasons. But, if it was someone, if they were trying to use a different, payment app, it also wouldn't have worked. But so moving on. So as I said, like blockchain, with the technology is here to enable this, to enable value to move across, platforms at the speed of information in a safe, secure manner. But really hasn't, blockchain has not really delivered on that promise. Because what's become clear is that, monolithic chain is not, it's not going to be one chain to rule them all. There's no, no way one single, monolithic chain is able to, scale to like host all the world's, applications, and, be the, quote unquote world computer. It's just, not scalable. It's just physics, but, and this obviously has led to the fragmentation that we have, that everyone's experienced, that we've talked a lot about, right? And that fragmentation is really at the root cause of that fragmentation is slow, basically base layer finality. So all these fragmented chains now, like many of them, Ethereum, for instance, has 15, 16 minute finality, meaning, the point at which a transaction can be, safely assumed to not potentially revert. And that goes for all the L2s that are on Ethereum as well. So Base and Arbitrum and Optimism and Celo, which we'll talk about in a little bit. They all have, the 16-minute finale plus whatever, time it takes for their batch poster to even post to Ethereum. So often longer. And anyway, so this long finality time is what creates the fragmentation. Chains can't safely communicate. It's either fast and insecure or slow and secure. And, obviously what we've, built at Espresso is a chain purpose built to be both fast and secure. And, we're not trying to be a world computer, right? We're more like a world ledger, because Espresso is not a custom, not a smart contract platform, right? We're not trying to handle execution of all these, smart contracts or applications, deployed on Espresso. We are just a base layer that is designed with a custom consensus protocol to reach consensus as fast as possible, as fast as the network, is able to do on basically transaction ordering and data availability, right? So L2s, chains that integrate with Espresso kind of just stream in real time their blocks to Espresso network. We're finalizing in now 3 seconds is the average now time. We actually brought that down already from our last community call. So average 3 seconds right now. Finality is reached, and then voila, right? So like that real time state of that chain now can be trusted by other chains, exchanges, other interop protocols, bridges, and that is really kind of what enables this real-time, composability, and is what will get us past fragmentation. And yes, as that slide says, that will unlock all sorts of innovation. I guess I already went over that, huh? The missing piece. So yeah, big milestone for us recently was at the beginning of this month. the transition to fully permissionless proof of stake. So we launched Espresso Mainnet in November of 2024, but at the time we had a permissioned set of node operators, right? So, we wanted to, stress test the network and make sure it's working. And so we had, a permissioned group of node operators that we wanted to work with. So now, having transitioned to permissionless proof of stake, now anyone can stake ESP and run a node on the network, and so that is obviously good for decentralization, good for economic security. So it's really a move that has strengthened the network. So I'll talk about this because this leads up to the demo that we referenced. But this week we were at Digital Asset Summit in New York City. And as you can see, some of these photos from the event. This is actually still going on live today. And Ben is actually on a panel at 3:00 Eastern talking about building the institutional tech stack basically for institutions, moving, finance on chain. And he'll be on a panel with someone at the DTCC, Thomas from Nethermind, right, formerly at the EF, and someone from BNB Chain. So that's still going on, but it's been going on since Tuesday. And so as you see, we have a booth there. And that picture there it's actually a little screenshot of a tweet I sent, but that's Ellie up on stage on Tuesday. She is Espresso's chief product officer now. She actually has gotten a promotion since maybe we last spoke about her. She was head of R&D at Espresso Systems, and now she's chief product officer, so running products. And if you want to go to the next slide.
No, I want to hear from Avery. She was there.
Oh yeah, sure.
Oh. I don't know if I have much more to add. Yeah, I was there at the summit the past few days, and also this morning I was there and helping man the booth. We had some really great chats with some institutions who are looking to work with us. So yeah, really good to see everyone. If anyone was there and I said hi to you, nice to meet you. Yeah, we still have a few team members there for the rest of the day. So if you guys are around, be sure to stop by and say hi. Super good. And I think the demo by Ellie really hit home for a lot of people who were there and listening. She had lots of compliments on that. And I think the panel is going to do really well today also. So yeah, good stuff.
And
I love how the yellow just jumps out. Like the booth is just one big yellow blob.
Yeah, you can't miss us with our Espresso branding. That's true.
And so part of our presence at DAS was we had a chance to partner up with our friends at AWS, which we use some AWS hardware in some of our current deployments and stuff, and we built a demo with some of their high performance compute power, and this is a video that we can play right now. It's only like a minute long, but I think just quickly for context, so we've talked a lot about what Espresso enables in terms of cross-chain composability, right? Like if you guys have been around for a while, you remember the Presto mint between Ape Chain and Rary Chain, right? Where you could just seamlessly one click use funds on one chain to mint an NFT on another, right? A seamless, fast cross-chain action. So that is very cool when it comes to like buying NFTs, but there's also very real world implications for this in traditional finance, and this demo showcases that. So this is something that Ellie actually built, and this is deployed on Espresso mainnet. This was not a devnet or testnet demo, but what this video is going to show is a cross-chain collateral management system that has 5 custom chains that are all finalizing on Espresso, right? So sending their blocks to Espresso. 4 of them are asset chains that are holding, simulated all sorts of synthetic assets. So equities, tokenized equities, treasuries, corporate bonds, and then digital assets, USDC and ETH, all that stuff. And then there's a 5th chain that's acts as a collateral engine that is basically reading the state of the other 4 from Espresso in real time because of the fast finality. And then the compute comes into it, in the fact that it's recalculating and repricing all these collateral agreements in real time in less than a second. And that was the tweet that I sent in the previous thing. It said, like, if you looked up on the board I circulated, it said like 1.6 million positions recalculated in it was like 91 milliseconds or something, right? The reason this kind of thing is really amazing is because 2 things really have prevented a demonstration of cross-chain collateral management at scale, right? There's been cross-chain collateral kind of management, but not at scale, right? It's like smaller little things. This is at scale because as Ellie says, I think in the thing, there's like 500 different institutional types represented. There's thousands of collateral agreements, 10,000 different assets, right? Like that's showed at scale, and it's quite amazing. So slow finality, and then also just the compute. Like it would just be ridiculously expensive to do what we did here, what we're demonstrating here on Ethereum. Like this demo would be like $300 per day if it was in production, where it would cost like $50,000 per day if it was on Ethereum. There's numbers that Ellie ran. Anyway, let's play the video. It's like I said, it's only about 1.5 minutes, I think. But
we have 5 chains here settling to Espresso, and this is on Espresso mainnet. 4 of these chains house 10,000 tokenized assets across 500 participants. And then we have a collateral chain on the right, which is managing the collateral across all of these participants across 10,000 collateral agreements based on real world structure of these types of agreements. Right now, the market is in steady state. So we see transfers on the asset chains, but not a lot is happening. The collateral engine is in real time, in milliseconds, repricing over 1 million collateral positions and seeing if these agreements are healthy. But now we see that the market is crashing. And so all of a sudden, we see a flurry of cross-chain activity. So what's happening is that the collateral engine is reading in all of the data from all of these asset chains through Espresso. It's then repricing these positions. And when it detects that these agreements are breached, it's then triggering cross-chain actions to coordinate a collateral management system in real time. So what's happening for agreements that have been breached, they need to post more collateral. So the collateral engine is going over to the other asset chains, it's pledging more collateral. And if there's no collateral available to pledge, it's actually freezing the assets. The collateral engine can also substitute different type of eligible assets in the case that one eligible asset is maybe cheaper collateral than another asset. So as we see as the market crashes, Espresso is this coordination layer, and we have all of these cross-chain messages happening in real time. So we're getting real-time collateral management. We are reducing uncompensated risk, and Espresso is the chain that's making this happen at real-world institutional scale.
cool. Integration updates. Yep. I forget, what we talked about last time. So maybe some of this is not news, but we've had a chain, Ligero, integrate. It's actually a great example of a kind of permissionless integration. They were able to just integrate on their own. It's actually a chain that is handling payroll. So they actually are using Espresso, and will be doing to finalize on Espresso. We'll be doing a little case study with them to showcase, because obviously when you're talking about payroll, one of the very big areas of importance is privacy. And so privacy is obviously incredibly important when it comes to real world adoption of blockchain technology. And we don't always talk about it when it comes to Espresso, but it's very much kind of ingrained in our DNA. For people that are really in the know, like they'll know that the founders of Espresso, actually their first project was a privacy focused project called Cape. It was basically a privacy focused L2. And this was several years ago. It really was a little bit before its time. It was kind of like almost kind of what Aztec is today. But in building that L2, they ran into the fragmentation that existed, which led them to then shift their focus to solving that. But it's actually quite interesting now, if we talk about Cape, and, it's all still there on GitHub. So actually maybe talking about bringing it back maybe and deploying it on Espresso now and really showcasing, both privacy and fast finality. But also important to note that when it comes, like Ligero is already integrating with Espresso, because again, what Espresso is doing, we're not executing, right? Like Ethereum is executing transactions, right? So all the validators are, looking at these transactions and replaying them and redoing them. And that's what takes so much compute and makes, slows everything down. Espresso is just reaching consensus on transaction ordering and data availability, right? So a chain, when they post their block to Espresso, it can be just plain text. It could be encrypted data. It doesn't matter as long as Espresso can reach consensus on that transaction ordering. It doesn't have to know what the transaction actually is. So that's very interesting. And then on the right there, Kraken is big thing we talk about. Again, fast finality enables basically real time connectivity with other platforms. So centralized exchange, if anyone has ever taken funds from a chain and sent them to Kraken or Coinbase or something, exchanges are very risk averse. So they're not going to trust the sequencer of Cello's sequencer because it's a centralized sequencer, right? They are not going to take the pre-confirmation that you will get in 500 milliseconds necessarily. They're going to wait the full 15 minutes for Ethereum to actually finalize that transaction. So your funds, you don't get access to those funds in 15 minutes. Kraken is going to integrate with Espresso so that Cello will, when it integrates with Espresso, if a Cello user takes their funds from Cello and sends them to Kraken, to the centralized exchange, because they want to whatever, sell them or swap them or do that sort of thing, Kraken will read Cello state from Espresso now, instead of Ethereum. So it'll be a matter of 3 seconds and Kraken will be like, boom, okay, yep, that transaction is final, and then get your funds and have access to your funds in a matter of seconds instead of having to wait 15 minutes. So that's huge. And I think that'll probably bring us to maybe Cello. I don't know. Is there a slide on Cello? I forget. Okay, Cello is, we are still working towards it. We've mentioned them before, getting very close, very excited. Q2, it's happening Q2. Cello will integrate with Espresso. And I say that.
Heard it here first.
Yeah. So that is good. Before we go on, look at this guy's quote. Is this such cope? Dude, worst airdrop ever. What a loser. Anyway.
Harsh.
All right, where to find us?
All right, so we are just finishing up our presence at Digital Asset Summit. We're still there today, so if you're around, stop by. But then
who's there from Espresso?
We have Fernando, our VP of Engineering, and then Jean, who's one of our software engineers, is there as well. I think Ellie and Benedict are also stopping by in the afternoon. Ben is going to be giving is going to be doing the panel later today too. So some solid people in and out. And we still have some jerseys left over from past ETHCCs and events that say Ethereum United. That's the last of them, I promise. That's the last. So grab yours while you still can. We're going to have a new version, though, featured at ETHCC in Cannes, which Shawnee and all three of us are going to be there next week. And yeah, all three of us are going to be there. We're also going to have Ellie's going to attend, and Mako on our BD side, who is in Japan. She's going to be joining as well. So solid group, solid girly group, including Wit. And we're
She's
going to
honorary girly.
Yeah, always. And we're going to have 2 events. We have a fun, I can post the Luma links here in the chat. Maybe we have a coffee on us event, which we're doing with Cello. That'll be really fun. That's at I chose this cafe specifically, well, because I'm a coffee snob, so obviously I have to choose the place with the best coffee. And it's like just in the center of Cannes, and I noticed everyone was there. All the crypto people were there last time, so that'll be really fun. That's on Monday the 30th. And then another event, we're doing Petanque again on April 2nd. I think that's Thursday. That'll be super fun. Just some friendly games. Or it could get competitive. I'm happy to get competitive as well.
Last time we got quite competitive, I feel.
Yeah. Yeah, there was an actual competition happening, so that should be fun. And then we have a small presence in Middle Asia as well. I think we're going to have at least 1 team member there.
Mako will be there, and we have our ambassador on the ground.
Mm-hmm. And we're thinking of doing an event, so hopefully people can see us in person. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Yay, should be fun. And then next, Consensus Miami, we have 1 team member, Mariana, who is based in Miami, so she will definitely be around, and we're considering hosting a happy hour there too. So yeah, lots happening this spring.
With our friends at AWS? No? Or is that happening?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's still up in the air, so we can't promise anything here, but considering, doing a co-hosting happy hour in Miami, which the bars there are always so bougie.
What a dream.
So it's always nice. Yeah. Well, that's it for this. Anything else to add to this slide?
No, I think you covered it.
Sorry.
I think the next slide goes more into detail on ECC.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Well,
no. You're. I mean, it's all been covered. We'll have some new merch, some new jerseys designed by Outpace, the boys, and we'll have the caps back. I'm sorry, Wit. It's not the 3-paneled caps. I don't even know what you call them. The one where
I'm making my own.
He's rage quitting these caps. He's done with the girly caps.
These ones were very popular, so we kind of had to keep them going. And "little bean" is like my favorite phrase ever, so I'm so happy it's going on a hat.
Yes, little bean. And we'll have some little postcards, which will be fun. Bringing back a little nod to the Composables, our flagship NFT collection. We can create your own postcard and then send it to whoever you want. Very cute. Very
Are we
cute.
going to supply the stamps?
No.
I don't think so, no, but I thought about doing that. So
we were thinking about it, but it's going to be a hassle.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very excited. We'll be flying in soon.
Yeah, just a few days. All right.
Closing thoughts. Yeah, I didn't see any comments or questions that are worth responding to.
Speedrun community call.
Yeah.
I'm happy about that. I mean, someone wrote that he has a question or she has a question, but I don't see the question. So
yeah, let us know your question.
Yeah.
We're here to answer it.
Yeah, I must have answered it already. What is our product? This is not a real question. I mean, are you asking what our product is that I just took a long time to explain, or are you asking something else? I mean, we've talked about Turkey. You know, it's definitely a spot that I would love to go visit and have an excuse to go visit. But so we've certainly talked about it, but I mean, there's nothing in the works at the moment. But you know, Crypto Cobra, if you want to spearhead something, you know, I mean, I'm sure you reach out to Shawnee with a proposal and we see what we can happen if you can make something happen on the ground. But
absolutely.
What does this even mean? No, it isn't what?
I guess.
I mean, should I take this guy at his word? Like, what is our product? Should I explain what?
Can you wait? Let me challenge
Um,
you. Can you explain it in what's a good amount of sentences or less?
Explain what? What is
Our
Three.
product. Can you explain it in 3 sentences max?
Well, it depends on how.
Well, they already.
In
You
depth you wanna
cannot
go.
say it depends.
Well, no, because you could say Espresso Network is a blockchain,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
But you can say, okay, Espresso, network is a blockchain with a custom Byzantine fault-tolerant consensus protocol capable of finalizing transactions
you can use
in 3
commas.
seconds. Period.
Yeah.
Um,
Fair.
I mean, it's like when you talk about explaining it, it's because then you have, but if you just say it's a blockchain, right? Or it's like Espresso Network is an L1, right? People will just like group it into, it's another Avalanche or
Box it
another,
in.
another Solana or another whatever. And it's not, because again, one of the things that sets us apart is that like we're purpose built to be, this fast kind of ledger, right? That is not trying to be the world computer, right? We're not trying to be a smart contract platform, because it's just that's execution should be pushed to the L2s and the applications and chains that then use a base layer to get the security that they all don't have, right? Because you can't expect every application, every on-chain application to be able to spin up its own, consensus network, right? Like all these people running infrastructure, node operators, reaching consensus onto that's a lot to bootstrap your own consensus network, right? So that's what the L1s provide, right? And that's what Espresso provides. It's just that we're able to be fast and secure because we just, we saw what happened with the roll-up centric roadmap. It basically created this new architecture where chains all the execution was pushed to this other layer, right? And now they're, but they're still on a base layer, Ethereum, which wasn't built with them in mind, right? Roll-ups were an afterthought. So Ethereum is still also executing all these transactions, and it just doesn't have to be that way. So, and this is often the way with like innovations, like the first, run of things, you realize, you see where all the friction is, and then, you're able to, re-architect solutions to address the problems that, became apparent.
I said that's 3 sentences.
I'm so tired of constantly seeing every platform asking for staking. Okay, but maybe you don't understand what staking actually is, because if there's a platform asking for staking that doesn't have a consensus, protocol, then yeah, they're full of shit. But if you actually have a real decentralized consensus network, staking is actually important, because that's what provides the economic, part of the economic security.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you understand? I mean, if you understand how staking works, you understand that. If there's, projects that, plenty of, all these projects have tokens that don't really need tokens. Like, yeah, those are whatever. But tokens are also needed when you actually have a real consensus protocol where you have a token to stake. But so ESP actually is used to power the Espresso network. Well, yeah. Sorry. Besides participant staking, yeah, the ESP token, right? Yes, it's used now as staking to secure the network. It will also be the token used to access the network. So you pay, fees to access like Ethereum, right? You pay them in ETH, Espresso network fees, data processing fees, like, chains, send their blocks to be finalized on Espresso. We'll use ESP to pay those fees. Now the fees are not on right now. Like and because this is a fully decentralized network now, this is, just like on Ethereum, when there's upgrades to the network, all the node operators, it's all the node operators that handle what they are going to upgrade their software to do. So at some point, the ecosystem will determine, and the node operators will agree or determine collectively on whether to upgrade to turn on those fees. when they are turned on, ESP will be used. Oh wait, I was missing this. Looking at the current market trends, what is exactly? Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I think
you covered that in your last.
Cool. All right. Yeah, I think I rambled. I mean, I didn't ramble. I was like, I can't answer it in a sentence, Shawnee, but it's like without context, makes it that's hard.
I know, yeah. It needs
the challenge is 3 sentences that clearly, describe what it is and also make clear what sets us apart, right? Like that's
absolutely.
It depends on who's asking as well. At the conference, I had builders asking, I had institutions asking. So
right.
Espresso is useful for many different people. It's a broad use case, but depends who's asking. We can tell you how Espresso is useful to anyone.
That's right. Cool. All right. Well, let's wrap it up.
Thank you, everyone, for joining. Appreciate you watching our community call, staying updated with the community.
And if you're going to Cannes, see you in Cannes.
Yeah, hit us up. We'll be there.
À tout à l'heure.
Bye, everyone.